What's great, you guys? One most important thing which determines the quality of our life is the way we look at it. Let's understand it from a small story. Ravi was a 14-year-old boy who wanted to become a great orator. The tree of time gave him the fruit of opportunity to fulfill his wish. Christmas Day was to be celebrated in his school. His class teacher entered the class and announced as follows: Dear children, you all have a great opportunity to speak on stage during the Christmas day. How many of you are willing to participate in it? The students were all excited, but at the same time, they were all filled with fear. However, Ravi overcame his fear and showed his willingness to participate in it. His class teacher gave him the content that he should speak. It was not an epic or an essay, it was just an introduction for the upcoming event. Ravi prepared well, and the day came. Ravi reached the stage to deliver his speech. He was shocked to see almost 1,000 students sitting in front of him. One thought came to his mind, and the thought was, what if I make a mistake and all students start to criticize me? This one thought filled his heart with fear, and he lost his balance of mind, and of course, his speech became a perfect mess. He spoke whatever came to his mind and ran away from the stage. Many students laughed at him, and the teacher who was responsible for conducting those programs scolded him for not performing well. As he expected, his friends teased him. Then Ravi went to meet his class teacher who gave him the chance to speak. His class teacher was a very calm person. He just smiled at him and said, Today people are teasing you for not performing well. It is your responsibility to make sure that the same people appreciate you for your speaking skills in the future. Those words were really encouraging, but Ravi's sorrow was deeper than those words. Ravi went home with a very sad face. For a few days, he couldn't help himself from remembering that particular event which he considered as the biggest failure of his life. But after a few days, he was able to notice one beautiful thing. Everybody had actually forgotten what had happened and they were just busy with their own work. Nobody actually bothered about that event which happened few days before. This gave Ravi some kind of relief from his guilt. Smile flowed in his face after a very long time. Now he had a question in his mind. He thought, should I submit myself to my fear and give up my dream, or should I try my best with courage and fulfill my dream? He also thought, anyway, even if I make mistakes, people are going to forget it soon. He pondered over it. He then decided to take up the path of courage. He started to use every opportunity that came his way. Gradually, his speaking skills improved. After a few months, he got an opportunity to speak on the same stage, but this time, he had to speak more. His expressions were also important. He prepared well. He chose to ignore criticism. And he lit the stage with his words and expressions. Everybody loved his speech. And the teacher, who scolded him for not speaking well previously, appreciated him. He then turned back and looked at that particular event which he himself considered as the biggest failure of his life. At that time, he was able to realize that it was not at all a failure. It was a starting point for his success. It became a seed for his self-improvement. The soil which converted that seed into a great tree was Ravi's clear perspective. I hope you all enjoyed the story. I just want you to silently think of this. After his first failure, Ravi had so many things to blame. For example, though he failed, it was a very good try. Nobody appreciated it. All his friends who were subjugated by their fear were all happy. Nobody questioned them. Though he was courageous, suffering was his reward. Anyway, Ravi wanted to grow. He wanted to improve his skills. As Arjuna saw nothing except the bird's eye, Ravi was only concerned about his skills. And you know what? His skills improved. Today, we have lot of unfavorable things to blame about. For example, the government, the education system, etc. Why do we blame them? Just because we believe that they stop our growth and well-being. This belief can either be true or false. How to know whether it is true or false? Let's use one method which is highly realistic for all of us. Let's experiment it. Let's experience it. Whenever you meet an unpleasant situation or a person in your life, just calm down and ask yourself, what can I do to grow through this situation? Remember, what can I do to grow through this situation? And genuinely do what has to be done. Very soon, that unpleasant person or situation will turn into a mighty tool for your growth and well being. Instead, if you start blaming others, you cannot stop blaming and you will experience only suffering. The world looks to you in the way you look at it. So, the way you look at things is way more important than what you're looking at. The most precious pearls are found in the deep dark ocean. One who has clear perspective and courage obtains them, others are just bound to blame the ocean. For one who loves courage, this life is a continuous war. Success and failure does not mean anything. If you look at it with a balanced mind, you'll find that every second is wonderfully made. Let's equip our minds with balance and braveness. Thank you.